Hello my loves, welcome back to Zeke's Lunchbox. We're finally painting a new tarot card. Before I explain this tarot card and we get fully into it, I feel like I need to explain why I'm painting this card right now. I mean, apart from the obvious, I just need to. But April's been so chaotic. 2020 has been chaotic. Let me start from the beginning. Wet hair, demolition next door, middle of a pandemic. It's Groundhog Day every day. How are you guys feeling? How are you guys coping? I know it's been like a month now in Australia of social isolation, quarantine, social distancing, flattening the curve. All terms I am so sick of hearing. So not only is the world really chaotic, I feel like this has been really reflecting and going into my work practice. We're in the middle of the art challenge, sketchbook art challenge, well, my personal art challenge that I wanted to do this month, which has been going well, and I'm ahead for this week, so I'm feeling accomplished with that. And I've been also working on so many videos at the moment, so I'm feeling like I've already started all of these projects and none of them are finished. Why not start a new project? So right now I'm working on a bunch of things that are really challenging and I kind of need something to center me, and I want to work on something I'm really passionate about. This card I'm dying to paint. I've been wanting to paint it forever and I'm so sick of putting it off, and I keep having all these distractions and I just want to paint this piece. Starting so many different projects, which is very unlike me because I'm very much one of those art peoples that starts a project, finishes it, and then moves on to the next, because I find when I'm doing too many, I can't focus in on anything properly. Like speaking. Which one are you? Are you an artist that works on a million different projects at the same time, or are you one after the other? Because right now I'm really not feeling like myself. I don't think anyone is. If you're new here, wow, if this is your first video, what a chaotic video to be plopped into. But if you are new here and you don't know what I'm talking about, you can head over to the playlist down below with all of my tarot card project content, or if you want to revisit the tarot card project and see how far we've come, and yeah, you can feel like you're completely on this art journey with me. So head over to that playlist below, and before we get into it, make sure you like the video. Let's get it to 500 likes. Let's keep it nice and steady, you guys. The community that we have here is so positive and so helpful. So thanks for being here. Okay, chaotic energy, so much chaotic energy. Get into a piece that I finally get to paint. Hello everyone. So very early days with the piece, but I got a really good kickstart yesterday. I think mostly because I'm really motivated and excited to paint this piece. So this is where I'm up to. I think the sky is pretty much done. Usually with the sky, I like to just inspect it a little bit more up close, especially in the light. Okay, so right now I'm just working on the canyon. As we know, landscapes are not my strongest part. I feel like I say this almost every video. Landscapes are not my strongest part, but yeah, I'm just going to work on the canyon and hopefully get that done today. Luckily, I have painted something very similar in the tarot card deck before. Here's another canyon. As soon as I got it out, I was like, whoa, I painted that? Sometimes I get surprised by old paintings and I'm like, how did I paint that? I often sometimes have regrets about not writing down specific techniques that I had or an order in which I painted something specific. And I kind of wish I wrote down exactly what I did here, because I've completely forgotten how to paint this particular section. I think just by inspecting it, looked like I popped it in and then I blurred it out a little bit. So that's what I'm going to try and do for the other one. I don't know if you can see here, but the edges here are quite soft, and I think I also put like a purple haze around it as well, just to kind of give it a little bit more atmosphere, and things in the distance aren't super clear, so that's why I'm going to try and give it a little bit more of a softer hazy look, just like with the distant mountains over here. I'm going to place it in and then peel it back. So I'm just going to try and do that today, and then tomorrow I'll see how I am and what I need to work on. I'm trying to get this one painted as quick as possible. Hopefully in like 5 days I can have this one done. Okay, my loves, so today we are chatting about the Fool. I'm very excited about this card, mostly because it feels like this is the card I should have started with when I began this adventure. It would have been a really symbolic act if I had painted this one, but nevertheless, I'm painting it right now. This card upright, and I'm referring to the Rider-Waite deck. Upright, this card can mean innocence, freedom, originality, adventure, travel, foolishness, carelessness, idealism, youth, spontaneity, lack of commitment, and new beginnings. And reversed, it could be interpreted as recklessness, carelessness, negligence, stupidity, distraction, apathy. That's just a little taster of what I wanted to mention, just so you understand exactly what this card is meant to represent, and then I will go into further detail about how we interpreted this card and the design decisions that we've made for the Fool. Hello everyone. So, I guess this is officially day 3 of painting the Fool. For the ground, I've actually had to look up a couple of other painted references. I think I mentioned in a different video. I not only look at photo references when I paint, but I also look at painted references just to see exactly how people have captured and translated subjects in a painted form. It does help me sometimes to figure out exactly how I should paint a thing, especially with a texture and a subject matter I'm not normally used to. The reason why I'm not very good at painting landscapes is I'm a painter that's been very trained to blend, and landscapes are pretty much the opposite of that. They're very like jaggedy, and you paint quite dry as well, and I paint with a lot of moisture. Painting dry and being very like purposeful with your strokes is something that I'm trying to get used to, and I think it's really good for me to break out and play around with landscapes. Portrait painting and landscape painting are so different in that way, especially if you're not like a real painter. Like a real oil painters, they have no issues. They're used to being very purposeful with their strokes, but I, as an illustrative painter, I am not. So for the inspiration for the ground, I looked at a couple of He-Man paintings and some old sci-fi paintings as well. The style of painting from that era, the 70s, 80s, some of the 60s, is what I often refer back to. I think for me it's just, there's something about the techniques that they use then that really resonate with me. So yeah, looking at those references, I'm moving on from the ground because I kind of just need to pop in the rest of it to see how much detail the ground needs. I don't want to make it all like super detailed throughout the floor. But yeah, I'm really hoping I can like blast out this piece really quick. The trick to being a working artist is that you do have to just pump out work really, really quickly. High quality work really quick. That's why so many commercial artists are digital painters, because you just have to pump out the work that quickly. Time is money, people. Let's get to it. The Fool in the Rider-Waite deck is originally depicted with a young man who is on the edge of a cliff without a care in the world, looking up at the universe or the sky, and he is on an adventure with his trusty companion, who in the original card is represented by a dog. He is also carrying a knapsack with, you know, minimal baggage, let's say. That's how I'm choosing to interpret it. I wanted this card to be super playful. I feel like I should have started this card when I began this tarot journey. I should have started this card initially because it was a really good symbolic card to show, I guess, a surrogate character that I'm, you know, leaping and taking a leap of faith into this new adventure and going into the wild and seeing what my new challenges will unfold. So because this is a very childlike card, or the Fool is meant to be, you know, quite literally a joker, someone who's really innocent and naive. I wanted the costumes to be not only clown-like, but also I wanted the colors to be as playful and childlike as possible. The star for me on the head, I guess, is not only a way of having the character feel like they're protected, but I guess the anonymity for me is more of a design decision to help everybody thrust themselves into this character's position and relate to the card a lot more. Instead of being completely naive, and yes, they have an element of that in them, I wanted my character to have a lot more autonomy and jump out into their adventure and really, like I said, take a leap of faith, plop themselves into whatever challenges they may face. I feel like I also need to say that the Fool is kind of the, let's say, protagonist almost in the Major Arcana storyline. So the Fool is kind of jumping in, and then the way I'm taking it is they're about to go through and meet all the other characters in the Major Arcana story. A few more things I wanted to mention about this card is because this card is, I would say, my most surrogate / avatar-esque card, I feel the most personally attached to this card. And because of that, I wanted this card to feel like the penultimate Zeke card. Honestly, this one just feels like if I could have my best looking avatar ever, this would be it. This is me with my trusted companion with my weird ass looking clothes. The color palette is directly ripped from two of my favorite paintings that I've made. This one really is like a quasi self-portrait. I think that's why I've just been so excited to paint this one. You know, it's been really the most personal card for me, and I hope that doesn't detract from people's readings when they use this card, but it just felt the right decision for me to make it a weird quasi self-portrait. I think it's a good representation of who I am: friendly but not warm, naive but I have autonomy. It's just, yeah, I don't know, the Fool is me. Hello my loves. So I haven't painted for a couple of days. I can't remember the last time I sat down and painted this piece. I feel like it was like 5 days ago. I haven't had a proper session where I sat down and like painted properly. I've kind of just been like sitting down for an hour and like tinkering around and not really getting into the meat of it. But today I am going to definitely finish this piece no matter what. I've been working on the rose this morning, and it's really gotten to that stage where you can't really tell the difference between this stage and the final stage. I haven't even touched the hands properly, so I always leave those to last because hands suck. Yeah, let's get to it. And that's it from me, you guys. I'm just gonna quickly sign off, but before I head off and we show all of that tasty B-roll of the Fool, make sure you like the video if you enjoyed watching this and hearing my adventure into the Fool. If you want to support Zeke's Lunchbox, my art, and this channel, you can head over to Patreon or grab some tarot related merch. I have a 3-pack of the tarot cards available on my store and a bunch of other art prints from past videos if you are interested, and I will catch you guys in the next video, and thank you so much for watching. Catch you later. Bye.